episode. Today, I'm James.
I'm Evan,
And I'm Michael.
and unfortunately, our precious member, Tamoya, cannot attend today. Okay, to start it off, guys, we know that the teams that has gone through to the quarterfinals during the weekdays are Argentina, Netherlands, Brazil, Croatia, England, France, Portugal, and Morocco. So, should we start off with our match predictions?
Right.
Okay.
James, you want to start?
First match, let's do like Argentina.
Argentina, Netherlands. I predict a Netherlands win. I don't see Messi personally carrying this team all the way. Netherlands look very strong defensively and even attacking. Honestly, look like a pretty strong team.
What's your scoreline for the game?
My prediction is 2-1 to Netherlands.
Yeah, I agree with James. Looking at the Argentina games, they have been fairly lucky with Messi's long shots, I'd say. And in general, their team, when you actually look at the 90 minutes, they don't really play that well. Even against Australia on, I believe, was it Sunday or Saturday? Something like that. Australia almost equalized. And yeah, Argentina
Also,
in general just does not play
They
that well.
lost to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was unlucky. So, going on to my prediction, I think that Argentina might win 2-1 because I feel like they do have the slightly better team and maybe like.
No, I
I think
disagree with
I think that
Sorry.
although they did have one unlucky game, like Saudi lost, I feel like there's still a really strong team that can win this match. But I think it can go either way.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, talking about Netherlands, there are some really, really good players. For example, Gakpo,
Gakpo
who has scored, is it 3 goals?
Five.
3 goals, but he's got more assists. He got a few assists on the.
Few assists during the tournament. I watched him play. What a player. Fantastic skills, quick pace, and can get past players, and can shoot with his left, can shoot with his right. What a brilliant attacker.
Yeah, and I think that now like a lot of teams are just like looking at him, especially Manchester United with Eric Ten Hag. They've been looking at like what he can do in the World Cup and how that can transfer into club football.
Alright, should we move on to the next game? Croatia versus Brazil.
Yeah.
Personally, I only see this going one way. They've been dancing their way through the World Cup. See what I did there?
Okay.
Scoring
Yeah.
and dancing, they've been humiliating their opponents. You could say that this could be very one-sided. I do see Brazil coming out on top, maybe with a 3-1 win. I do see Croatia scoring. And,
I
Brazil
think
taking it away.
for me, same way. Brazil 4-0 win against Croatia. I know, looking at Brazil's plays, their attack is really fluid, and I think their defense line is really underestimated with the back of Thiago Silva and Marquinhos, and yeah, the football that they play on.
It's been really entertaining, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The chemistry between Neymar, Vinicius, even Richarlison, who wasn't really that good before the World Cup.
No, I think if we look at the U21 World Cup as well, where he played in that, he scored a massive amount of goals, and like Brazil also won that U21 World Cup.
Richarlison is a different breed.
Yeah.
in international
this
football.
World Cup.
Yeah, and although like he's not even the first one picked in the Tottenham squad, he's the odd man out for like Harry Kane, Son, and like he's like showing what he can do in this like Brazil team, which is also like very strong. Yeah, so I think Croatia is gonna lose.
So no disrespect to Croatia, I think
Yeah.
the midfield is still strong, but
It's one of the best.
yeah, actually Kovacic, Modric, they're a little bit similar in terms
Brozovic
of
as well. He's
I think although Kovacic, I don't think he's as strong. I think he's a bit weak.
Brozovic has covered. I mean, like
the
60,
covered
yeah,
the most ground in a match this World Cup so far.
Yeah.
let's move on to the next match.
Yeah.
This was obviously one that I support England, so I'm gonna be a bit biased. I do see France versus England. I see England coming out on top, just because I support them.
No bias.
This could go either way in my opinion. I think
Guys, come on.
Easily.
You've got to be
Yeah.
realistic.
easily
Yeah.
Mbappe.
Mbappe is
is
unstoppable.
He-
There's no way
He's
Kyle
the top
Walker is
goal
gonna
scorer,
stop
okay.
this.
But
The speed is.
are you
the
saying
vision.
Walker can't lock it in?
I don't
personally
believe-
believe Walker can.
I
I see England winning this
This is,
on penalties.
no, I don't think.
On
he will.
penalties. I think we'll win on penalties.
Despite Maguire's form, I don't think his agileness and stiffness can keep up with Mbappe's.
Yeah, also
Really
Warriors
Walker-
knows.
He'll be in Walker's pocket.
Yeah, but Warriors.
No,
guys
what if it
close
goes
to
like
the-
more censored, like the manager sees that and goes puts him in the more censored.
I do see Giroud as a bit more of a threat though. That's
Really
we might be focusing too highly on Mbappe that
He's
that
not
Giroud-
player as well.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like
I-
Usman,
yeah.
he hasn't been really showing that much this World Cup. I think he's been kind of carried by Giroud and Mbappe.
Nah, I disagree. Usman Dembele is absolutely brilliant. His left foot and right foot are both equally as good.
I feel like he does have to like work on his shooting though, on his finishing. His dribbling is fine, but still he has to like work on that finishing.
Are we not going to talk about the attack of England? Foden, Saka, Kane, Bellingham. He's had an amazing tournament.
Yeah.
That's like many more players than you can say for France.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
unmatched.
France
when you
have
talk
no
about
ball
the
with no
starting
time.
Just
series.
purely Mbappe, I feel like just changes the whole situation. Like maybe midfield, I would agree with, because France is lacking in the midfield. Like
But they're
Kanté,
not
Walker.
bad. though. Rabiot is
But
in
yeah,
top
but they
form.
still like, but comparing it to England, but Bellingham,
Rice, they're both valued
Rice,
so
yeah.
highly.
exactly. So I feel like in a midfield, England have a better team. Also defense.
It'll just come down to the day. I think.
Yeah. And I think
yeah.
yeah.
But I think England actually has a more solid defense compared to Varane. Like the Varane and is it Upamecano?
I think it's over.
Kind of it's Koundé.
No, Koundé plays on the right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I think England in general is more solid at the back. I'm not saying the France defense is like shaky, but it's just not as reliable. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Next match.
So like going on to Morocco, Portugal, I want to highlight that like a lot of these matches, like you never know what can happen. Like especially for Morocco now, like they beat Spain, so like I feel like all of these scores, it's not like for sure like who's gonna win. Like you never know.
And like, they may not actually
Except-
represent.
Yeah, except like Brazil and Croatia, like I feel like that's a win for Brazil. But like also for Morocco, Portugal, like you never know.
Let's not take it away from Morocco. The first African manager to make it to the quarterfinals. It's a pretty big achievement. I do see this going Portugal's way still, as I believe it's Cristiano's year. Although there has been some inconsistency in if Ronaldo is going to start for Portugal anymore. After his competing striker scores a hat trick.
Yeah.
And it's just how many minutes?
I'm not sure.
17, I think.
Yeah, he started. No, he played in like one match. He scored.
I think he scored his first goal in 17.
And to say this, Ronaldo has never scored a knockout goal in the World Cup history. So
Even Lewandowski has scored it and he's out. And
So,
also,
yeah.
it's kind of sad because it's especially because it's Ronaldo's last World Cup, possibly, most likely, which means that if he doesn't get any game time, like his international World Cup career is over. So that would be pretty unfortunate.
okay, what's your score predictions for the game then?
So my score predictions are maybe 2-0 to Portugal because I feel like they still have that like more strength than Morocco. But like, you never know. Like possibly Morocco can like do something, maybe get it to penalties again
James?
or score one goal.
I see your thinking. I think it could go Morocco's way.
Yeah, same, exactly.
They've got pretty lucky.
Okay,
But
I saw your score prediction
more
before this
skillful.
conversation.
More
You
skillful.
had
But then,
score
yeah,
predictions
I changed
four
my
at the
nil.
start, I did think Portugal were gonna win.
Yeah.
But then looking at Portugal's
Yeah.
squad and look, Ronaldo's not having the best season. If Ronaldo is up to form and doing all of this, I think they could win.
Bruno.
But I see Morocco getting as far as the
Yeah.
semi-finals.
And you know Portugal's fan as well. You had the Portugal shirt and you're supporting
He's a nice
Morocco.
kid, actually.
Okay,
If
okay.
Ronaldo's not playing, I'm not supporting Portugal.
So my score prediction probably gonna be, I think Morocco will win on penalties again. They'll knock out Portugal on penalties.
I
That's my
think
opinion.
it would be before that, before the 90 minutes actually. 2-1 Morocco, and yeah, Portugal will be knocked out.
I think
in the quarterfinals.
maybe like changing it up a bit. I think that Morocco is gonna tie it to like full time and then they're gonna score in additional time.
So you're saying that Portugal are gonna lose now?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Now you're gonna say that.
Now you're
I'm
trying
joking,
to.
I'm joking.
Well,
You know,
nonetheless,
it's a more
gonna
interesting
make it.
storyline, honestly, because Portugal win, you know. That's like nothing happened. African team having a chance to win the World Cup is like very interesting to see.
Are we gonna totally disregard the World Cup curse? Maybe it hasn't hit yet. I still think it
Can
could.
you,
About the France?
can you tell us what the World Cup
Come on,
is?
man. I
Yeah.
think.
Or can you tell us what the World Cup
Okay, so the World Cup curse is after you win the World Cup, you perform very poorly in the next World Cup. And so far, France has been proving this curse to be wrong. As we can see in 2010, when Germany lifted the World Cup, the next World Cup in Brazil, they were knocked out in the group stage. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
in 2014, we see, 2010 was
Yeah, I think that was Brazil.
Spain.
Spain.
And Spain were knocked down in 2014. And then 2014, Germany won the World Cup. And in the 2018 World Cup, they were knocked out in the group stages.
Yeah, but I think France shows too much quality, so maybe we can see like they got out the group stages, they go past the round of 16. Would the one who break the curse be the one who actually wins it?
Yeah, they can finally get a double.
I hope not.
That would also be Mbappe's second World Cup, which is
Unreal for,
it's crazy.
how old is he? 23,
Yeah,
22?
23, 24. And he's already got 9 goals into his name and
In the World Cup.
in the World Cup, which is actually not that far off Close's record of 16 goals in total. And
Wow.
let's say he has like 2 to 3 World Cups left in his
So I feel
career.
like surely if he doesn't get injured, if he manages to like maintain his form, which I feel like he would since he has been for the past 5 years. Or,
Very possible, right?
yeah, so I think it's possible that he's gonna beat that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Also to talk about this World Cup has been one of the most, I'd say, one of the most entertaining World Cups like of like the history of the competition. 140 goals scored this year so far. That's the most out of all World Cups. What do you think about that, James?
I think it's been very entertaining. We've seen a lot of upsets. We've seen a lot of goals, a lot of penalties, just a lot more entertainment. And you can tell by the amount of fans that turn up to the matches. We're seeing a very high attendance rate for most of these matches.
Yeah, you can see that there's a lot of avid support for all the teams.
Yeah.
You know,
There doesn't seem to be a bad team in this World Cup. Everybody's showing up.
except
And-
Qatar, I think the hosts were
Yeah.
absolutely horrible, but
But everyone is showing passion, so that's good for the world of football. Okay, next point. After Belgium's defeat in the group stage, Hazard, I believe 2 days ago, has just announced his retirement from international football, which is such a shame because he was once, and at this time, I think he was still my favorite player of all time. And yeah, what do you think about that?
I think after he left Chelsea, he obviously didn't like get back to the same form that he was at Chelsea. I feel like it's just been kind of downhill from here, and I think this was kind of expected. I don't think he gets minutes, so.
I thought he would have still at least
Yeah.
lasted 2 more years.
No, I was waiting for that 1 year where he would get like a comeback, like Dembele, who like is kind of managing like to do something now, but I feel like that day is not gonna come now.
I feel bad, but I feel like it just had to happen. I think you could just understand, he won't ever be the form that he had when he was at Chelsea. It seems very unlikely as the years go on. He'll either just get injured or just a poor run of games again. And I don't see him ever really starting for the World Cup. I think this is just like starting for the next World Cup or next Euros, to be honest. It just doesn't really.
The thing is, like, the contrast between this World Cup and this last World Cup. He won the silver ball last year, like the second best player of the entire tournament. Was by far Belgium's best player, far better than I'd say Lukaku and both Lukaku and De Bruyne. He's been man of the match for like almost every single stage of the tournament, until they got knocked out, obviously. And yeah, it's just such a huge contrast, which is quite disappointing in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Lukaku is another case as well of someone that managed to reach like peak form, and then just like after leaving the team that he was playing very well at, just like absolutely disappeared.
It's just all about the confidence.
Yeah.
What about the 2 penalty shootouts we've seen so far?
Bro,
It's been quite entertaining.
those penalties from the losing teams are actually atrocious. Those penalties actually had no power behind them. It's just a pass towards a goal.
Do you think it could be nerves though?
Yeah, but I heard that.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's definitely nerves because as you can like hear, and the coach of Spain literally said that they practice penalties
1,000
to like, an
times.
extreme point, 1,000 penalties, and they still managed to shoot 0 out of 5.
So
Zero
that
out of
could be
5.
putting too much pressure on his players,
Yeah, I think
expecting them to win every penalty shootout because they practiced this many times.
I think the players are just trying to be a little bit too secure here, trying to get the ball in target, thinking the keepers won't save it, but actually like won't guess the direction of the ball.
Yeah.
But if you shoot it that weakly, I think the goalkeeper can simply just react to the ball and just save it.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot like behind the scenes, like a lot of like staff like try and predict the shots and they give information to the goalkeeper. So like I feel like a lot of they literally do. They predict where they're gonna go.
And how do you know this?
Because I swear they put on their bottles and stuff.
Oh yeah,
That's. I thought you meant during the game.
like that
Oh, no.
analyzation.
Yeah,
I know
I
that's
know what
like
you mean.
most likely where they're gonna go and they have like statistics on their bottles to like try and predict.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a big part of like
I
all
feel
those
like,
penalty
as we
shootouts.
said in the last podcast, penalties have become harder to score. I feel like goalkeepers have become more aware of where people are going to shoot. They've become more aware of how to save penalties and their techniques that they use. It just seems like unless you're like the best penalty taker in the world right now, it seems pretty difficult to even take one.
To be honest, I think the effect on social media has also played a huge effect on this.
Yeah.
One miss from the penalty, we can see that from the Euros finals.
Yeah.
One miss, and for the next at least 3 to 4 months, you're crowned by like
Yeah.
millions of people, like random people that you don't even know.
Yeah, and that like goes on to like how like players are under more stress than ever right now because everything that they do, like for example Harry Maguire, he's just been like for like the past year he's just been completely like just just like calm and stuff just for like
So it's hard for them to regain their confidence and come back
Yeah.
for their performance, right?
yeah. So I think only the strongest can
Alright.
survive this.
Okay, so this is it for today's podcast. Thanks a lot for listening. And
Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Right, thank you.
remember to like and subscribe.